Argentina, you have yourself an Ili Tapori as Kevin Villejos absolutely violates Josh Emmett in the main event. I mean, this kid, if he wasn't the best prospect or best up-and-comer at 145, he definitely is now as he goes out there and just absolutely no respect for Josh Emmett, obliterates him in just under a round. Finishes Josh Emmett faster than Tapori did, I'm just saying. Absolutely obliterates Josh Emmett, and I think Kevin Villejos right now has to be the most exciting guy on the rise at 145. At UFC fighting out Villejos versus Emmett, I thought for an Apex card, this was a pretty good card. We had a bunch of scraps, some decent finishes, people going out cold, so we're going to be breaking this down fight by fight. UFC fighting out Villejos versus Emmett, and we'll start off with Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes. I got this one wrong. Rodriguez gets the decision win over Sam Hughes. There's not really much to say, really, in this fight. Women MMA, decent scrap, I guess, for women MMA standards. Yeah, surprising win for Piera. I thought Sam Hughes was going to get the job done. I guess there's kind of going to be a bit of a limited skill gap for Sam Hughes. Not a gap, but like, how good she can actually get. Rodriguez gets the job done. Is what it is. Then we've got Luan Lacerda versus Hetcher Sousa. Now, I actually didn't end up predicting this fight, and it irritates me because I would have gone with Hetcher Sousa to win. As he, I mean, it was an absolute scrap, back and forth, but Hetcher Sousa's hands look so crisp in this fight. Has an absolute war with Lacerda. Gets the decision win at the end of it all. Yeah, this was an absolute banger from start to finish. I mean, these are the fighters that don't belong in the Apex, like in an Apex event. These are the fighters you want to put on a crowded card. Because, like, if imagine this fight was on UFC 326, this immediately would have made that a significantly better card. But yeah, Sousa striking. He's just so crisp. This dude just throws with no care as to if he gets hit back. He's got great accuracy, great boxing. Like I said, the boxing is what stood out for me from Hetcher Sousa. I don't know what they're giving in those boxing gyms in Spain, but it's got to be something crazy as he just kind of obliterates Lacerda on the feet. Now, Lacerda was firing back every now and then, but Hetcher Sousa didn't give a shit. He just keep walking forward, keep firing back. So great debut in the UFC for Hetcher Sousa. I think he's got like a good record as well of like 40. I don't know what his exact record is, but he's got a pretty neat record. Finishes, gets the decision whenever Lacerda. Good scrap. Might even get a bonus, but like I said, this is a pretty good card, so it was quite competitive for the bonuses. But good win for Hetcher Sousa. Then we had Mesquita versus Montserrat Rendon. Now, Mesquita might be the best kind of up-and-coming fighter in women MMA right now. If the UFC were smart, they would have brought Ronda Rousey back on the White House card, put her against Mesquita, so that you can build up Mesquita by demolishing Ronda Rousey. That would have been the smart move, but yeah, this was easily done. This was so easy for Mesquita. I mean, what was it? First 30 seconds, takes the fight down, demolishes it with ground and pound, and then gets a submission. And this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. If you know the credentials of Mesquita, you know that she's the shit. She's got this big BJJ background, undefeated in MMA with every single one of her wins via finish. She might be the female Khabib. Like, she might be Khabib. Like, where is it we see women MMA fighters that not only just finishes fights, but every single one of them is a finish, and a force that dominant like Mesquita? I think she's going to be a future top 5 fighter. I don't think it's too early to say that. I mean, she's demolishing these fighters. We just saw Montserrat Rendon take on Alice Pereira, a female prospect, and beat her, and now we've just seen Mesquita go out there and demolish her in about a minute, so yeah, 2 minutes is all it took for Mesquita. Her grappling's phenomenal, man. I think there's very few fighters in women MMA that I think can handle the ground game of Mesquita. It reminds me of Kayla Harrison when she first got to the UFC, and everyone was talking about how Kayla Harrison has like terrifying grappling. That's how I see Mesquita, except even her stand-up as well. Like, she wobbled Montserrat Rendon in, like, the first exchange. The first exchange he had, she wobbled her too, so yeah, Mesquita, one of the best prospects in the women MMA right now. Wouldn't be surprised if she gets a bonus too. So keep an eye out for Mesquita. Like I said, mark my words, she will be a future top 5 fighter. And the last time I glazed a prospect in one of their first fights, it was Jacoby Smith, and now he's the shit in the welterweight division. So yeah, good win for Mesquita. Then we have Brad Tavares versus Eryk. I mean, I looked at this fight on paper and was like, this is just going to be a mid-off. Two veterans who aren't really known for fun fights, but they kind of surprised me pleasantly. Eryk gets the win. I picked Brad Tavares. Anders gets the job done by decision. It was a decent little fight, I guess. Yeah, like, actually a decent fight. I mean, I expected this to be a ball fest. Like I said, you got two guys who kind of go to a decision more often than not. They're both, approaching the end of their career. I mean, one of them actually put the gloves down tonight in Eryk, but to be fair, they actually threw down. Eryk nearly finished Brad Tavares early on. Tavares fired back. Bit of grappling in there as well. Obviously, we ended up seeing Eryk Anders retire. I don't think there's anybody going to be, no one's going to be falling to their knees in Walmart after realising that Eryk Anders is retired. But he's decided to retire, coming off a win. I guess it's good for him. I also think Brad Tavares should be retiring too, though. This guy sucks. Like, Brad Tavares in the Big 26, when was this guy's last impressive performance? Was it against Chris Weidman in, 2023 at UFC 292 or whatever it was? Like, when was the last time he had a good performance for Brad Tavares? It's been ages, so I think he should probably retire too. He's a veteran. He's up there in age. He should be gone, but yeah, good win for Eryk Anders, now retired. I guess that means the middleweight division can fit more of these up-and-coming guys in. But yeah, not much to say about this fight. Pretty 50-50. I picked Tavares to win. Anders gets the job done. Tavares should probably retire too. And yeah, then we had Bolaji versus Manoel Sousa. Now this is, I'm almost 90% sure, is going to get some sort of bonus because, yeah, knockouts aren't the most common thing in MMA, but sleeping somebody out cold the way that Manoel Sousa did to Bolaji in the last minute of the fight is mental. I mean, he was picking apart Bolaji and then to flatline him in the way that he did. Give this dude 100k. I mean, out cold as well. I mean, Manoel Sousa is a fucking absolute juggernaut. You look at his record, he's finishing everybody, and then you watch him fight and you can see why. He just walks forward, constantly throwing bombs. And I mean bombs as well. Like, he had a bit of an issue with landing shots because he just kept swinging. But when I say he's throwing bombs, I ain't lying. The guy throws everything into every shot. And then when he lands flush, you're out. He wobbled Oki a few times. I think in the first round, he dropped him too. And then obviously in the third round, in the last minute, all it took was one flush shot to the jaw of Bolaji, and he's out cold. So Manoel Sousa, this guy's a juggernaut. I can see why he's finishing his fights. And I think if this guy can, sharpen up his accuracy, he's going to be a serious problem in this division, man. Because, like I said, the only issue was the accuracy. He was kind of swinging for the fences and not being able to land. But if he can improve his accuracy a little bit, man, Manoel Sousa's going to go for flatlands Bolaji. First guy to really outstrike Bolaji on the feet as well in the UFC. Everybody else has to resort to grappling to beat him. So for him to, like I said, he was winning the fight anyway, but to flatline him and put the cherry on top, potentially another 100k bonus, you've got to give it to Manoel Sousa, man. Dude, somebody to look out for. Like I said, he's an absolute juggernaut. Then we had Elijah Smith versus Su Young-Yu. I mean, I picked Elijah Smith to win because he's a better grappler, better looking, better everywhere, and that's kind of how it went. I mean, he gets the submission in the second round. Yeah, this kind of fight, in my opinion, kind of proved the difference between a wrestler and a fighter, like a grappler and a fighter. Elijah Smith brought the fight to him, outdogs him, and he's able to get the submission win over Su Young-Yu. Yeah, Su Young-Yu is so boring, man. Like, I'm glad that Elijah Smith got the submission and got the finish because Su Young-Yu, he's kind of got this reputation for being quite boring. His 2 wins in the UFC were quite uninteresting fights. The way that this first round went as well, it seemed like the game plan of Su Young-Yu was to kind of just grind out Elijah Smith. He's a bit of a control wrestler, so I'm glad that Elijah Smith was able to get the finish. And like I said, this is a difference between a grappler and a fighter. Su Young-Yu wants to grapple. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to throw down. He wants to grapple. Elijah Smith, despite being a grappler himself, he's a fighter. He's willing to strike on the feet. He's willing to, get gritty, get dirty, and that's why he got the submission of a Su Young-Yu. Did well on the feet, eventually took him down, got the back, gets the submission win of a Su Young-Yu, so yeah, Smith wants to fight, and I think he's one of the better prospects right now, is Elijah Smith. I don't know his exact record, he might be undefeated, but I think he's 3-0 in the UFC, 2 finishes and 1 really fun fight with Vince Morales, so Elijah Smith's going far, man. I feel like he's actually one of the most untalked of prospects in the UFC now, and you know why? It's because they keep fucking sticking him in Apex cards. Every time I see Elijah Smith fight, it's in like an Apex card. They need to get this dude in front of a crowd, because every time he performs, well, most of the time he performs, he's in bangers, so good win for Elijah Smith, shuts down Su Young-Yu, and I'm glad that he got the win. Picked him to win, got the submission whenever a boring fighter. Good for Elijah Smith. Then we had Vitor Petrino versus Steven Asplund. This is probably going to get a bonus as well. This is a pretty good fight, at least for heavyweight standards. I'd say this is a really good fight. Vitor Petrino gets the decision win. I thought that was the fair decision. I mean, I know he nearly got finished, I think, in the first round, but apart from that, he was pretty much controlling the fight apart from a few things here and there. But yeah, these are the unranked heavyweight fights we need to see. Get rid of Thomas Peterson. Get rid of Tatu Ivaza. These are the unranked heavyweight fights we need to see. And this is what I think I wish the heavyweight division was. Like, you've got the skilled guys like Garn, Aspinall, and Volkov at the top. And then when you go unranked, you get these fat guys, these unathletic guys who, rather than try and be technical, they just go and throw down. And even with a bad gas tank, fucking what's his name, Tuivasa and Teixeira, they still throw down anyway. So yeah, do they have the skill? No. Do they have heart? Yes, and it made for a great fight. I mean, Asplund, to be fair, he has so much heart. Like, he got cut so many times. His chin was gushing open with a massive cut. He's got a crazy chin for the heavyweight division as well. I mean, Thomas Peterson got caught. He got fucking folded. Asplund was able to eat him. I mean, he's obviously used to eating, but he ate those shots pretty well. The only issue I've got with Petrino is the guy walking off was not a great visual. Like, you can't say in the Octagon interview that you want to walk down and stand in the middle and fight, and then about 20 times in the fight where you walk off gassed out. It's not a great visual. I still think Vitor Petrino, for heavyweight standards, has a little bit too much muscle. Now, obviously, you don't want to be flabby, but I think Petrino's got too much muscle for his own good because he's a bit stiff. And like I said, the gas tank is a big issue for Vitor Petrino. But if he can get that sorted out, I think within no time, Petrino's probably going to be in the top 15 of the heavyweight division. Probably going to be demolishing somebody like Martin Tavares. So, good win for Petrino. Overall, a really fun fight. It does suck to see Stephen Asplund lose because he does seem to be one of the better personalities in the heavyweight division. But I'm sure he'll be back. Again, if he loses a bit of weight too, shaves off a bit of fat, I'm sure his stamina would be better too. Overall, good fight, solid scrap for heavyweight standards, and if I was the UFC, I'd be giving them a 100k bonus. Then we had Chris Curtis versus Myktybek Orolbai. This fight kind of went exactly how I expected. Myktybek Orolbai kind of mauled. In fact, it didn't go as I expected. He did a lot better than I thought. I mean, I thought this was going to be somewhat competitive. It wasn't competitive in the slightest. He raised his hands after the fight. I don't know why the hell he did that, but yeah, Orolbai is a machine, man. I mean, am I wrong for saying this guy's giving like early Chimaev vibes? I'm not saying he's going to become a champion like Chimaev or, beat as much top contenders as Chimaev, but just the vibes that Orolbai's giving me, like this guy from, a specific region of the world, demolishing everybody with his grappling. I mean, Chris Curtis had no answer. I thought this was going to be somewhat competitive. And it wasn't. Orolbai just destroyed him the entire fight. I say destroyed. I mean, he didn't do too much damage. It was a lot of kind of holding him down and smothering him. But still, the grappling of Orolbai, this guy's going to be a problem at welterweight. I can guarantee Chris Curtis is going to go rant on Twitter as well. I mean, like I said, he was a bit angry at the decision. He's still one of the saltiest fighters in the UFC. Watch him take to Twitter later on today and rant about how he somehow should have got the win or how Myktybek Orolbai is boring and so and so. So, was it a super entertaining fight? No. Am I impressed by Myktybek Orolbai? Is this dude going to be a problem in this division? I think he will be. I genuinely think the guy can be ranked one day. I mean, he's already got a win over Uros Medic, who's now like one of the best guys on the rise in welterweight. So, yeah, excited to see the future of Orolbai. Chris Curtis, I mean, he's dropped down to the welterweight division, hasn't really looked too different. I think he's probably better off in the middleweight division because that's where the competition's easier. So, if I'm Chris Curtis, I'm moving up a weight class. And if I'm Orolbai, I'm chasing the top 15. Good win for Orolbai. Then we had Bruno Silva versus Charles Johnson. Johnson gets back in the winning column by decision. Yeah, Bruno Silva's a dirty-ass fighter, man. I mean, he's a dirty fighter. I mean, how many times did he foul in this fight? There was that headbutt incident, which was, I guess it wasn't intentional. But then the 2 groin shots in a single round, and why did the referee not take a point? Like, when are we actually going to start taking a point for fouling? I mean, if you're an MMA fighter, you may as well just foul because all you're going to get is a warning. There's no downside to fouling. You're going to get a warning, a slap on the wrist, and then continue fighting. You may as well do it. Bruno Silva did it multiple times. And the fact that he's potentially, and I say potentially in quotes because let's be honest, we all know, roided up. He's just a dirty fighter, is Bruno Silva. But yeah, Charles Johnson gets the job done. And he's a beast, man. I mean, he gets fouled and still forces Silva into a scrap. He's one of these kind of like Marlon Vera-esque fighters, I feel like. He's Charles Johnson, where he starts off quite slow, and then as the fight goes on, he progresses. Like, he knocked out Kavanagh, I think it was the second round. Knocked out Van, I think it was the third round. This fight, he did his best work in the third round too. He gets better as the fight goes on. Calls out somebody in the top 10. I don't know if you're going to get Horiguchi for beating Bruno Silva, but I think like an Azor Mabayev versus Charles Johnson could be a good fight. So, yeah, give Johnson someone in the top 10. He's got some good resumes out there. Beat Bruno Silva, back in the winning column. I thought Silva was going to catch him, but Charles Johnson survived. And yeah, good win for Charles Johnson. Then we had Oumar Sy versus Ion Cutelaba. Ignore the American flag. He's from, where is he from? I forgot where he's from, but he's not from America. But Cutelaba gets the submission win in the first round. Oumar Sy tapping immediately. Like, the second the submission gets latched up, he's tapping. I don't know why that was. But, yeah, Ian's kind of turned into, like, a gimmick fighter. Like, when I used to think of Ion Cutelaba, I used to think of the guy who was, like, highlight reeled at face-offs for getting in everybody's face, dressing as the Hulk, being a bit of a weirdo, and then getting his ass kicked in the octagon. Whereas I feel like nowadays, he's actually more of, like, a serious fighter. Like, to be fair, for an unranked fighter in the light heavyweight division, Cutelaba's solid, man. I mean, maybe not top 10 potential, but, I mean, he's definitely skilled. I can see him being a bit of a gatekeeper in this division where he's like, he's good enough to beat guys every now and then, maybe not good enough to break the top 15, but yeah, good for Cutelaba, man. He's turned his career around. He went from potentially being one of the worst fighters in the UFC to having a massive comeback, so you've got to give it to Ion Cutelaba. And yeah, Oumar Sy tapped immediately. There was no trying from Oumar Sy, and I kind of picked Cutelaba for that reason, the fact that he's got experience, he's on like a bit of a career second win now, and Oumar Sy's not done anything impressive in the UFC. French people versus grappling. Go watch Saint Denis versus Moicano, go watch Gane versus Jones, go watch Oumar Sy get submitted by Ion Cutelaba. Good win for Cutelaba. Then we had Marwan Rahiki versus Harry Hardwick. One of the more brutal and violent fights of the card, as Rahiki breaks the jaw of Harry Hardwick in the second round and therefore getting a TKO in the second round. I mean, what a fight this was for what it lasted. 2 rounds full of violence. I mean, Hardwick is tough as fuck, man. I mean, like I said, he's had a pretty brutal career so far in the UFC. He debuted against Caio Fernandez, had to get stretchered out because of how much damage he took on his leg. And then in his second fight, he takes on Marwan Rahiki and gets his jaw shattered too. He's had a brutal career so far. Didn't get knocked out, and he definitely broke his jaw. Well, he obviously admitted it, so you've got to give it to Harry Hardwick. The guy's got a chin in him, the guy's tough, and he only loses when he has no other choice. Is he UFC worthy? I feel like just for the, you want to be respectful. I guess you give him one more chance at the UFC. I'm still not entirely convinced if Harry Hardwick is UFC level. He kind of gives me like Chris Mutino vibes. Too good for the regional scene, not good enough for the UFC, but we'll have to see. In terms of Rahiki, yeah, this guy's hands were like standing out. The guy's got rapid hands. His counter punches is amazing. His boxing's legit. I think if he can like sharpen up his defense a bit, this guy could be a problem in this division, man. Anyone with lesser chin would have been knocked out. Like I said, if Harry Hardwick didn't have as of a good chin that he does have, most people would have been knocked out by that. So yeah, I'd say give him a bonus. If the UFC aren't completely stingy scumbags, they'll give Harry Hardwick some sort of compensation, like just a 20k for the jaw break, but we'll have to see. Give them a bonus. I thought it was a decent scrap for what it lasted, and good for Rahiki. Then we had Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. Again, another pretty good fight as well in the featherweight division, as Jose Delgado gets the decision win. A bit of controversy sprinkled on this fight. Some people thought Andre Fili should have got the job done. I thought it was a little bit, it was very close, bit too close to call. But yeah, this was an absolute scrap. Both guys just firing back on the feet, and they're so evenly matched as well. Like Bisping was pointing this out on commentary. I mean, I think they're the same height. They've got like a pretty similar style of like aggressive Muay Thai. They both caught each other with the big shots. These guys were so evenly matched. I feel like if you match these guys against each other 10 times, they'd both win 5 of the time. So, yeah, very evenly matched. Everywhere the fight went, even on the ground as well. It was kind of like a passing of the torch moment. You've got the young guy coming up in Delgado, the veteran in Andre Fili. I personally thought Fili did enough to win. I personally thought Fili, especially in those later rounds, did enough to kind of secure the decision win, but Delgado gets given the decision. I'm not mad at it. I don't think he's a brutal robbery, but I definitely thought Fili should have got the job done. But overall, very close. I thought Fili edged it, but is what it is. And it was a decent scrap. Delgado's definitely somebody to look out for in this division. Then we had the co-main event on Amanda Lemos versus Gillian Robertson. Gillian Robertson gets the job done. I feel like the UFC are going to kind of push Gillian Robertson as like a Mackenzie Dern 2.0. You know how Mackenzie Dern had like the easiest path to the title? I can guarantee they're going to do the same thing with Gillian Robertson. You've got this attractive Canadian woman with good grappling, just like Mackenzie Dern. I can see that being kind of like a goal that the UFC have, to get Gillian Robertson to the title as fast as possible. I mean, even on paper, this was supposed to be an easy fight for Gillian Robertson. Yeah, good performance from Robertson. Probably one more fight before she gets a title fight, and I think if you match her well, she can definitely do that. But let's get Amanda Lemos away from main events. I don't know why Amanda Lemos keeps getting these main event or co-main event opportunities. Like, she main evented last year against Mackenzie Dern. Nearly every single Amanda Lemos fight is on some sort of like main card. Why? No MMA fan is dying to see Amanda Lemos. Get her off numbered event main cards. Get her off fight night main events or co-main events. Put her on the prelims, man. Get Amanda Lemos away. But yeah, decent woman MMA fight. But let's talk about the real bread and butter of this card. Kevin Vallejos versus Josh Emmett. Now, Argentina's Ilia Topuria goes out there and demolishes, not even just demolishes, but absolutely violates Josh Emmett in the first round, getting a TKO. Yeah, Argentina, you have yourself an Ilia Topuria. I mean, we're not just saying that for the sake of it. These guys have a really big resemblance. I mean, just the kind of, a boxing approach, walking forward, getting them against the cage, ripping to the body, the combinations that they both throw, both being defensively cautious, both sprawling at the right time. the comparison between Velezos and Ilya ain't make-believe. They've got a very similar story, like I said, two prospects on the rise. If anything, the only difference is the fact that Kevin Velezos went out there and absolutely obliterated Emmett in the first round, and Ilya did it across 5. But either way, they've definitely got a lot of comparisons. I mean, Ilya Topuria and Kevin Velezos, very similar boxing approach, and Kevin Velezos seems to be that new breed. But yeah, Velezos looks super promising and composed, but his combinations are devastating, man. Like I said, he doesn't rush things. He takes his time, but then when he gets going, the guy is deadly. He just fucking demolished Josh Emmett, got him against the cage, knees to the body, elbows to the body, landing combinations up top. But this guy was just obliterating Josh Emmett against the cage. He had no respect for him once he's found his number, got him against the cage, and like I said, dropped him as well. Did Emmett even do anything in that fight? I mean, he swung a couple of times. I don't think he landed anything significant. That was brutal for Kevin Velezos. Demolished him. And in terms of Josh Emmett, he should think about retirement. I mean, this guy's lost how many fights now? Like, what? 5 of his last 6 fights, with his only win being a KO over Bryce Mitchell. He's 41 years of age. I think retirement should be a bit of an option for Josh Emmett now. Time to pack it up. But yeah, Kevin Velezos, man. This guy's going to go far in this division. I mean, if you just look at the UFC, I think there's a lot of guys in the top 10 he can beat. I mean, he's already faced Gene Silva, and he went to a competitive decision. I think Arnold Allen, he probably beats. Aljamain Sterling, he probably knocks out Aljamain Sterling. He probably beats Yusuf Zalal as well. I think Kevin Velezos is going to go far. I would not be surprised if within the next 12 to, let's say 12 to 18 months, this guy's fighting for a belt. If you give him the right matchups, it's not even just a case of giving him the right matchups, but if you just give him matchups frequently, I think Velezos can go far. Composed, dangerous hands, great boxing, great grappling, and he's just gone out there and demolished Josh Emmett. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and act like we didn't expect this to happen. Everybody thought Josh Emmett was going to get demolished. I mean, it was kind of the main reason Velezos was such a big favourite in this fight. But, like I said, to do it in that fashion, it isn't like he took his time like Ilya and did it across 5 rounds. He took his time initially, and then when he found his number, just straight to Josh Emmett. Elbows, knees, the full package, and he gets the finish. So I say let's give Kevin Velezos someone in the top 7, maybe another main event in front of a crowd next time. Get him out of the Apex. Why do you look at Kevin Velezos and think, yeah, let's get this dude in the Apex? Get him in front of a crowd. He produces bangers. He's got star power. Potentially the future of the featherweight division. Get this dude out of Apex. Leave the Apex to like Sterling and Bilal. Sterling and Bilal. Get Kevin Velezos in front of a crowd. But yeah, good win for Velezos. Demolishes Josh Emmett. And yeah, this guy's going to go far in this division. Definitely the best up-and-comer in this division right now. And I think definitely a hot take that this guy's going to be, not even a hot take, what's the word I'm looking for? Definitely a high chance that he's a future title challenger in this division. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this fight. Your thoughts on Kevin Velezos. Do you think he's going to fight for a belt? Do you think he's a future champion? What are your thoughts on this performance? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching.